Lee Health hospitals are so packed, staff is doing something never done before to make room for so many sick COVID patients.
You want to follow science? The science is the masks don't work.
We're flagging that one and a few more. NBC2 is debunking COVID-19 claims from last night's Lee County School Board meeting.
What would you do to see your favorite artist in concert? Why your vaccine card may be more important than a concert ticket.
Plus, we're getting our hands dirty in Cape Coral, scooping up some of this green gunk and testing it to see if it's toxic to you and your family.
Live, the news you count on. NBC2 News at 6.
18 people died of COVID-19 yesterday in Lee Health hospitals, a staggering number in just one day, the highest single-day death toll since the pandemic began. Staff sent out a grim warning saying, "We have 92 patients with COVID-19 on ventilators, and we know that many of them will not make it home." 99% of beds at the largest healthcare network in Lee County are full. I'm Kelly Burns.
And I'm Peter Bush. Lee Health is so overwhelmed with COVID-19 patients, they need to get creative with where to put the new ones coming in every day. So as of today, Golisano Children's Hospital is no longer just for children. Adults are being sent there to be treated for COVID-19. NBC2's Ashley Graham talked to doctors who say this was their only option.
Before this surge, the oldest patients here at Golisano were just 21 years old. And now with the weeks-long surge still going, adults as old as 30 are being admitted here for care. No resources are going to waste at Lee Health, including hospital beds.
But for now, it makes sense that it's all hands on deck, that we can provide care.
Lee Health started admitting adult patients at Health Park Medical Center to Golisano last week. That includes COVID patients. They said they just didn't have enough space for everyone at their adult facilities. Dr. Imad Salman says this allows those patients to get care more quickly.
Those patients are getting seen and getting managed, and we've been able to discharge the majority of them.
The policy change is temporary. Salman hopes more people take precautions against COVID before they end up needing a hospital stay.
Get the vaccine, get the protection you need, and hopefully prevent needing a hospital admission or even an ICU admission.
Right now, all of Lee Health's facilities are above 90% capacity. Lee Health says they'll revise this policy of admitting adult patients here once those numbers go down. I'm reporting at Golisano Children's Hospital. Ashley Graham, NBC2.
Naples Community Hospital lost 4 COVID-19 patients yesterday. NCH is seeing a slight decrease in COVID patients. Tonight they have 209 COVID patients. The numbers have been trending down for about a week now. 80% of their COVID patients are not vaccinated. 36 are on a ventilator. The Lee County School District will mandate masks for all students and staff starting tomorrow. The mandate will last for 30 days in an effort to get the case numbers down.
The superintendent made that decision yesterday. NBC2 first brought you live to district headquarters before the school board meeting where this happened.
Right here, look, right here. Unbelievable what we are seeing here today unfold live. Now we can see the sheriff's deputies are coming out here to get between the two groups.
Once everyone got inside the meeting, tensions remained high.
These tyrants got to go. They don't care about your children. As a matter of fact, they hate them. They hate your kids. They hate my kids. They hate your kids. They hate my kids. Get it? Okay.
I have 2 full-grown children. I didn't educate them here, thank God.
These doctors that sit up here that were sneering at us and looking at us like we're scumbags, they need to go back to medical school.
Several of the anti-mask arguments at last night's meeting had a similar theme. We'd like to put some of those claims in context for you.
And I do not have any children in the school system. I'm here today to say I can't understand what all this mask business is about. There is not one study, not one, that talks about the effectiveness of masks.
Well, here's one from the CDC titled Effectiveness of Mask Wearing to Control Community Spread of SARS SARS-CoV-2. That is just one of 50 scientific studies we found simply by Googling effectiveness of masks. All of these conclude masks are effective at preventing the spread of COVID-19. The CDC found persons who wore masks experienced a 70% lower risk of testing positive for infection. Here's the thing, masks block water droplets that come out of our mouths every time we breathe, keeping infected droplets from getting into your body and also blocking your infected droplets from getting out into the air. That point leads us to this.
Wash your hands and say your prayers. Jesus and germs are everywhere. The virus is 0.3 microns in size, so fabric blocks the virus? Those are just lies.
Now, rhyming aside, she has a point about the minuscule size of a COVID particle. In fact, it's even smaller than what she said. The CDC found the virus that causes COVID-19 is actually about 0.1 microns in size. It's true, most masks cannot filter out particles this small, but the virus molecule is never alone. It's always bonded to a water droplet, the same droplets Kelly was just talking about. That droplet can be 5 to 10 microns in size, up to 100 times bigger than the virus particle itself. Droplets that size are easily filtered by masks. Other speakers made the point that kids weren't at risk for getting seriously sick.
You are making a decision about masks based on a 0 risk factor percentage of kids being hospitalized because they haven't worn a mask.
We want to make sure this is clear. Data shows children are much less likely to get seriously sick or die from COVID-19. But right now, Golisano Children's Hospital is treating 14 children with severe cases of COVID-19. Before the Delta surge, they treated 1 to 2 patients with COVID per day, and those patients are hardly ever had to be hospitalized, so the risk is not 0. Plus, the Delta variant is attacking younger people in a way we haven't seen yet in this pandemic. Finally, on the question of, is all this legal? We have this woman.
Should you choose to instead break the law, which is what you have done today, we, the parents, will take every measure necessary, including pressing charges against any person that attempts to rob us of our parental right, and they will be held personally liable for damages to our children.
A mask mandate at school is perfectly legal and within the bounds of the Constitution, so parents cannot press charges. Just listen to the Florida judge, John Cooper, as he ruled that the governor's ban on mask mandates was illegal.
The law expressly permits school boards to adopt policies regarding the health care of students, such as a face mask mandate, even if a parent disagrees with that policy.
So to recap, is this legal? Yes, you just heard the judge say it's within the bounds of the law. Are masks safe? Yes, it's been scientifically proven they will not harm your child in any way. Will they protect our children? Yes, they're not foolproof. But if your child wears one at school, they are less likely to bring the virus home to you and the rest of your family. Once again, Lee County students will be required to wear a mask at school starting tomorrow. The district will reassess that mandate at the end of September.
Parents of students at Lee County charter schools are unhappy. Their child's school is not following in the public school district's footsteps. Charter Schools USA only recommends masks. A parent at Bonita Springs Charter says she hoped her school would mandate masks. Her daughter, 11-year-old Brianna Lopez, is in remission from leukemia. Her immune system can't handle COVID. Her parents keep having to bring her home every few days to keep her away from other children who test positive.
I have never seen my daughter that happy in a long time to be around kids her age. It is sad to see when your daughter is seizing because she's worried of getting sick.
Lopez hopes the school superintendent reevaluates the decision and changes its mask policy. She would also like to see more remote options for families in a tough spot like she is in.
A small group of protesters showed up outside Oasis Charter School in Cape Coral this morning. The group says charter students will not comply with the mask mandate that went into effect at Cape Charter Schools today. An Oasis spokesperson said the majority of protesters out this morning don't even have students at that school. The mask mandate will be part of the dress code for 90 days, but it could end sooner if the infection rate drops.
The Charlotte County School District is meeting to talk about Mass Friday. The school board says they will not be voting on anything at this meeting, but anyone is welcome to attend. They will not be taking public comment. The Lee County Sheriff is now urging all of his staff to get vaccinated after he lost a second deputy to COVID-19. Deputy Sheriff First Class William Diaz died this morning. He was just 29 years old and leaves behind a 10-month-old child. The sheriff says he can't mandate his staff to get vaccinated, but says he can't see why anyone would refuse.
Just our sheer numbers, we're at about 1,700 plus, 1,700 members of the agency. And we have a lot of people that are out that are testing positive for COVID. So we're trying to do everything we can for, one, to protect our family member, two, to stop the spread of it. COVID is not just there, it's literally everywhere. It just so happens this, unfortunately, is the second person that was in a correctional facility now has passed.
Stephen Mazzata died on August for 18 years, both officers. It is vaccinated.
Go to the concert? No, I won't.
Some concert venues are going to require NBC2 investigates if that's even legal.
Plus, the stuff floating in this Cape. But does that mean it's bad for you? Experts to find out next.
The north of us tomorrow. Go through the extended feature cast. Coming up in just a bit.